Hi, welcome to another episode of That's the Thing 2 Overture. It is episode 82, and it is Wednesday,
It's
August the
81.
28th. It's 81, it's episode 81,
Yeah.
but it is still August
Yeah.
on a Wednesday on the
Exactly.
28th.
Yeah. One day early. A
Yep,
brand new world.
yep, new schedule.
Yeah. That's how it is. Okay, we gotta get down to brass tacks before anything.
Nope, yeah, I gotta say, I gotta open this with,
Okay.
lightest of Jujutsu Kaisen spoilers of I Told You So.
Yeah, you were right. I was wrong. You nailed it, and I think you nailed it harder than anyone has nailed it. You saw into you were on the wavelength, you synced up. I was wrong.
It's super. I didn't know about the finger. The finger was the final piece, but this is something I have been calling probably since it's been Gojover.
Okay. Well, that actually kind of dovetails into the old world of the Warcraft,
Yeah,
where my basically semi spoiler, a character.
I think people don't care.
Okay,
Mind wow
so so
spoilers.
so Khadgar the wizard is fighting like the big bad Beetleborg evil lady, and
Yes.
he gets like she uses like this black hole magic on him, and it looks like he's being vaporized. And he's like, "Oh, is he dead?" I'm like, "No, he's clearly being teleported. Like clearly,
Yep.
like he's not dead."
Yeah.
I'm gonna go if you don't see the body, they ain't dead.
Uh huh. That's the rule. Even if they're dead now, that doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. They can always come back.
It's one of those of writers will get rid of a body and leave it ambiguous enough that they can just be like, oh no, here's the body later.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Or
Look at that.
sometimes she just like,
Did I Iraqi and say like give you the like tombstone of Abdal 1939 to 1988?
"Nah, he's back. Don't worry about it."
Yep. Like that's the rule. Unless the author explicitly says they are dead and it's not American comics, then they are dead.
Yeah, because the no that one you can never trust.
Yep. Someone else comes along and says, you know what, I like Gwen Stacy, she's back.
Or or the hit Hong Kong police drama where they kill off one of the villains, but they like the actor, so next season they just said, "Nah, he survived though." And you're like, "Yeah, I understand because he was really good."
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, that's going on. Okay, so you wanted to talk about best episode of Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, I'm rewatching it. I'm still in season one, but yeah, I'm
Okay,
rewatching it.
okay, because like
Um,
I've been
my guess is this may turn into a repeating segment of every week. I'm probably gonna say, oh yeah, I finished this season, and these are the best episodes from that season.
okay, because it's like I'm looking at like the TV list, and Malcolm in the
Yeah.
Middle is a show that has ingrained itself into my brain so thoroughly that I can be like
Hmm.
40% of the entire episode in the best bit I can by just looking at like the episode title.
Yep. I think it's also I want to also just before we start with the best episodes, I think Malcolm in the Middle is such a good show at an episode just building to like a climax and then giving a like very satisfying big event.
Oh yeah,
I don't think they never have a climax and then resolving action and then what like ending. It gets to the climax and and then it has a denouement. And
yeah,
I feel like that's just very
which is how a
very
comedy
good
should work.
form.
For a
Yeah.
comedy, like in my opinion, Malcolm in the Middle is a perfect television show. I think it
Mhm.
is. I think it is literally perfect. It is literally timeless. There is.
Mhm.
It is. My only mild complaint is I think some of the episodes in like the last season or two are a little weak, but that just is. That's just kind of what the show went for 7 seasons. That happens.
Mhm.
That happens. That's
I
not.
They also knew it was their last season,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, and the
You know.
ending. I think the ending of Malcolm in the Middle is perfect.
Uh-huh.
But okay, so you're watching it. Like of
Yeah.
your season 1, what is your best or your favorite episode? Because I know mine. It's easy.
It's and I think this might be my contender for best of the series as well, but it's the roller skating episode.
Roller skating episode is the best in season 1. I don't say it's the best in this season because I think there are a couple other contenders, but it is to me that is like one of the definitive episodes.
And
Like,
I also it has one of the best Francis B plots of it's the survival training camp.
oh, that yeah, he just had a knife.
Yep, he's just nude with a knife and camo.
Yeah, like it's really good. Like I have some ones I think it's difficult because they're ones I think that are better and more like definitive are ones that I think that are like incredible, but that one is so good.
I also think like it has maybe the best ever editing around you know how TV or movies always do the oh look it's the actor, oh look it's the person who can do the acrobatic stunt that we need for this shot.
Oh, they do it. Yeah, no,
and
they edit
and
it.
it's always very blatant, but I think the editing with Hal and his routine is probably the best editing for that gag
Yeah.
because it's almost flawless.
I think it
You
was a Foxcade review or someone where they talked about Malcolm in the Middle and they talked about how different it was than like other TV shows. Like it was filmed. It didn't do like
yeah,
cutaways
it's
or
not like a
laugh
single
track.
camera.
Yeah. Except when Malcolm talks at the TV, which I always like.
Yeah. But even then, I like that too because it's not like a static rule of time freezes around him. It's stuff is still playing out in the background. Like other characters are doing things.
Basically, you're that is Malcolm. You're hearing his thoughts. This is how
Yeah.
Malcolm thinks. But it is a masterpiece. That episode is really good.
What's the best of the series to you, Kevin?
Okay, so I have a couple contenders. Like, I think there's like the basic one, and this is I feel this episode is one of the most memorable. But I think I don't know if it can be the best episode because it requires having seen other Malcolm in the Middle episodes.
I still think that puts it in contention just because you. I okay.
Do
I
you know
think
which
of
Do you
this
know which one I'm
quandary.
talking about? Do you know?
No, not yet. No,
Okay.
no, not yet. But I think of this quandary as like people are like, oh, they killed John or I Kill Giants is such a good comic, and then I started reading it and it sucked. And it's like, yeah, but you have to slog through that and then you get a steak dinner. It's like, well, why would I not just go somewhere that starts with a steak dinner instead of?
See, because I don't think this one, but in this scenario, the steak dinner is Malcolm in
But
the Middle.
yeah, no, it's like you get a steak dinner and then you get the aged prime rib
See, I feel like so this
dinner.
episode that, and I'm not sure if this is the best episode, but this is like one of the ones that stuck out in my brain. Is season
Yeah,
4, episode 8, Boys at the Ranch, where they visit Francis on the Dude
yeah,
Ranch. I
yeah.
think in terms of
Are
bits,
we inside this fence?
no, that's a different one.
That's the no, that's the casino
That's
one.
like the Vegas, yeah, the casino one.
Yeah.
Where where that thing it blows up and Reese says, "I think I did it with my mind."
Yeah.
No, but this is yeah. But I think the ranch episode is so solid, but it's such like a payoff of like Francis's arc. Like it
Mm-hmm.
is because
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the one where Hal is jealous of Otto for turning Francis into a man, right? And
yeah,
Otto was like, "No, he was like this when he got here."
yeah, and it was like where they were expecting it to be a like a layabout, and Francis like rides up as a cowboy,
Yeah.
and he's like oh god. He also has the Komodo 3000, which is the best joke in the entire show. The best single gag is that one, or the most memorable one.
Yeah.
Now, I think that, like, in terms of, it may not be the funniest on, like, a personal level, but I think as, like, there's a difference between personal gag and, like, overall, quality.
objective.
Yeah, I think objectively, the Komodo 3000, the subplot to that payoff is incredible. And it's such like a simple trick. It's such a simple editing trick, and it's so good.
Uh, I think another top one for me. I haven't gotten to it yet, but is it Lois's birthday?
Is that
Do you know the
yeah?
one I'm talking where she ends up at the batting
The batting
cages?
cage is a great.
Because I think that's just like
That's in
that
season
might
two.
be that I feel like that might be the best climax of the show, where it just devolves into a family fight with a pack of clowns.
Yeah. Oh, that's because that they do. That's like they do that a couple times, and that's like the first one where you get to see like
Yeah.
the fam.
Okay,
There
it's
is
true.
unity.
It's yeah, it's I think anytime that the family realizes, oh, we've gone too far and we really ruined something for mom, or just anytime the family pulls together, because it's that one, and then it's the family reunion
Yeah,
climax as well.
that is also like looking into it. I think season 4 is like the best overall season.
That's where they really hit it.
That's where they hit. There's so like every episode in there is like one of my favorites. One of
Because
my
like mid to late season one is definitely where that hits, and
yeah.
they've got the correct version of the theme song playing now.
Yeah, like see, so I would say the roller skating episode is the
Yep.
first what I would say peak Malcolm. The other ones are
Yep.
good. They're other
Yeah.
they're but like after that one, I think it's like bangers from then on. Because then you get like season
Hmm.
2, you get like where they're stuck at the traffic jam.
Yeah.
I think yeah, season 2 has a lot of really good episodes. But so one of my other contenders, it is on season 4, and I feel it's like the definitive Malcolm episode is the one where Malcolm helps God, I forgot his name. Jason Alexander, aka George Costanza, get a job as he sees himself as like in the guy in the chess where they're playing chess, and he's basically just future Malcolm. I think that.
One second.
All right, it's a really good one.
Okay, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, my headphones came to unplugged. I was
Yeah.
trying to
Right.
look in a cabinet for something.
Nah.
But Malcolm gets a job.
No, that's the one where Malcolm gets the guy he plays chess with. That's just him as an adult and like a failure. And he gets him a job
Yeah.
at the store, and he can't do it because he still has like the Malcolm stubbornness slash
Critical failure.
yeah. You get to see Malcolm's critical both success and failure in that episode. I think that one's really good. There's just a lot of like quality episodes. There's one of them I can't remember. I'm just looking through it. This is just bits.
What's your?
Okay,
Oh, okay.
I was gonna
No,
say.
I was gonna say, what's your favorite era of Francis?
I think the best era of Francis is at the logging camp. Personally,
Oh yeah.
I like Francis at the ranch. I think like the logging camp is how he gets there. Like that's where we get to see the transformation between like military school Francis and actual like adult Francis.
Adult. Yeah.
Like, and I think that arc is really important. It had him at the. There's a lot of like my favorite. Some of it's hard to say favorite jokes because almost every episode has one of my favorite bits in this show.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
very hard.
Yep.
Like, I think about a lot when Francis first arrives at the logging camp and he sees like his friend miserable. He's talking to like that old coot prospector, and he just in weeping says, "That's my best friend." I think about that a lot.
Uh, I think mine is at the ranch. I think Francis at
The ranch is
ranch.
really good. There's a lot of good moments on the ranch.
I do like
I like Otto a lot.
Jaime.
Oh,
Jaime, is that his wife?
Paema or something.
Paema.
Yeah. She comes into her own at the ranch. That's where we get to see like Francis have his own stuff.
Yeah.
Piyama? I think it's Piyama.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So I'm just
I
looking.
do. He just married his mother.
Yeah. No, that's a very common, like where Reese finds the journal. That's just his mom, and he falls in love with her.
Yeah, because I just saw the episode where Hal Reese is in love with the cheerleader, and so he joins the cheerleaders,
Oh, that's a good one.
and like Hal gives them this talk, and I think that is you're too. I love the throwaway line of like, but it's like except for sex, which I've already told you boys about that. It's like he's more concerned about like, no, I have to tell you what the men are like in this family. I have to tell you what y'all have inherited from me.
This what your sickness that you cannot escape.
Yep,
It's
just a just a banger of a show.
there's too much. That's why it's hard to pick a best episode because like the bits are so strong. Like just looking through the episode list, I'm reminded of the dirt bike episode with one of my favorite jokes of all time where all the kids are thinking about all the stuff they're gonna do with the dirt bike, and like Malcolm is jumping over something to impress like girls. Reese is like splashing people on his motorcycle, and then Dewey just has like 8 arms and is eating cookies with all of them. And I'm like, yes. Such a good.
And I love that it's a mini bike, right?
Yeah, it's like just a mini bike.
Yeah, and then I love the payoff of course, like Reese breaks his leg.
Yeah, like instantly.
And I love how they solved the problem of like, no, we're just gonna blame it on Craig.
And
Gonna make
Lois
it make...
and Lois knows but lets it happen. Because that's all you know. Like she's like, I clearly see through this.
Oh my god, that makes me think of oh, there's so many. Okay, I need a reminder of the later, but season one has so many like of those little throwaway payoff lines if you're paying attention, like the stock car racing episode where Hal takes them to the NASCAR race.
Is that on like
And
one
when
of the Thursdays or something that he always skips?
no, it's just Malcolm is doing hoedown classes at school, and he doesn't want to do it. So Hal takes the boys to see his idol, uh, Roy Malcolm, the best NASCAR driver there ever
Oh,
was.
so
Such
that's
that Hal's fantasy is not being Roy Malcolm; it's being the guy who gives him his bottle of water during the race. But there's a part where after the boys have been caught by security, and they're waiting for them to come back and talk to them. Reese is like, "Okay, you're Clyde, I'm Kyle," and then the episode ends with Hal being confronted with the boys. And after he kicks the security guard in the shin and grabs Dewey, he's like, "Clyde, Kyle, get in the car."
that's so subtle.
It's so good, and if you're not paying attention, it's like, wait,
No, this has
it's
happened before. This has happened many.
yeah.
There's the world building
I,
and like so deep.
there's two separate like households of when Lois is in charge and when Hal is in charge.
Which is
It is
all,
two separate worlds.
which is also a contender of one of my favorite episodes, which is the bowling alley episode, where we get to see what
Yes,
happens whenever Lois takes them bowling, and then what happens when Hal takes them bowling.
that's a Emmy winner, isn't it?
I don't. It may be. It's
I think
really
that one won an
strong
Emmy.
because
Yeah,
that one is like because you get to see like things go better for Malcolm when it's with his mom, even though at the beginning it is worse.
yeah, it pays off much better.
Oh, it pays off because it works. But then it didn't pay off. It all went bad with Hal. Oh,
And then similarly, the episode where Lois is imagining if she had girls instead of boys.
that is also a season 4 episode.
And she learns, oh, it's much better that I have
Oh, it would
boys.
have been way more. Yeah, like, oh, there's so many. Like the one where where they join the church to get free stuff for the baby. And then they just paint a mural of like Jesus in Jamie's room and they don't know what to do about it.
Is it? I don't know. I don't. What's Fox's current lineup?
Oh,
Because
they're
I think
dead.
Fox, like, yeah, it's like Fox, like most broadcast television is just dead.
I think
What's competing with Malcolm in the Middle? Modern Family? I
uh
don't think
oh
so.
I have no idea because like basically if memory serves like the Fox
It's
not the only thing Fox has currently it's news and sports. So
is
like
there any is
no,
there any broadcast television
I don't think there is. And
sitcom?
if there is, it's only like Hulu, and then they also broadcast it on like Fox for whatever. So like The Simpsons still plays, but that's like Disney owned now.
Yeah. What about does CBS or ABC have any
Oh
like
no,
even something in the ballpark of a Everybody Loves Raymond?
no. Oh, because the sitcom is effectively dead.
We got him, boys. We got him. It's been a long con, but we got him, boys.
The
You know what
sitcom.
Kevin didn't say? You know what he didn't say? You know what he is now rejected?
Oh,
Young
Young
Sheldon.
Sheldon. Well, that's because
Young Sheldon.
Young Sheldon got bad at the end. It got real bad at the end.
I don't think it got bad. I think it just shifted around its own core. It was still the same thing. It was just like, oh, this is in a different context, not enjoyable.
There's a lot of truth to that. Where it's like how I'm trying to think of no
Because
it's
like most things, like most programs made by large studios, that show is safe and tame. They are not trying to get outside their wheelhouse or do anything impressive. It's like, no. As Philip J. Fry said, when when writing is clever, it makes your audience feel stupid, and when things are unexpected, it makes your audience scared.
yep. I think in part of it is that like the thing with Young Sheldon is that as like a sitcom, it's been like the first what I would consider classic competent one for
Yeah.
like 10 years. Where because like my dad and we watch sitcoms and we've watched like old sitcoms. Like right now we're working on like the Donna Reed
Yeah,
show, and it's
I was gonna
pretty
say
good.
see Toby Gillis
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Gilligan
Like
Vile?
no, it was
Y'all what? Okay, it's just the Gilligan is in Toby
he's
Gillis.
in Dobie. Yeah, but we've
Yeah.
watched like Father Knows Best, and we've watched like
My Three Sons.
Leave It to Beaver, and like I think they hold up because they're just like a solid little family sitcom.
Yeah.
But like that
It's
doesn't get made,
no.
and a lot of those shows are just they're just not like it's the show that you watch either after dinner because that's like when we watch the show. We
Mm-hmm.
eat our dinner
It's
and then we watch an episode like 30 minutes and here's the family and they go on an adventure and you can watch it and you're like that was nice.
I hate Bill Cosby for taking away the Cosby Show from me.
Oh, you're correct. Like I think okay, so I think Fresh Prince really suffers in the later seasons.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. It,
Like
it definitely once it stops being an authentic voice.
I was gonna say, and it sounds really bad, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Once it stops being black, it really suffers.
Yeah, like I can hear Will in a later season being like, "But Auntie, who's Malcolm X?"
Yeah, I would say there's the point where like he stops wearing the Malcolm X shirt, and then like that's the very dividing line.
Like the episode in season one where Aunt Viv starts teaching at his school
No, that's a
and
great.
she is writing him hard is such a good episode because he's like, this isn't fair, and she's like, yeah, but I thought you would want to know more about Black history, Will.
You keep saying that you're really good about it, and then you're not doing
Yeah,
it.
you keep saying it's crucial and important to you, so I thought you would want to know more about it.
Oh, that's a great episode.
Yep.
Also, like the only character that I think holds through the entire show is Jazz. Jazz is always a pleasure.
Yeah, Jazz is starts off already a thin character, so it's very easy for whatever new writers come onto the show to already understand Jazz.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. It just works. It's just kind of. I'm like, yep. Whenever he's
You
on,
can't get flanderized if you're a one-note character to start.
exactly. To that degree, I think like Hillary suffers the least of the show, of the main crew,
Mm-hmm.
because she's just kind of ditzy and dumb. So everyone, you
Yep.
just keep that, and it just works.
Yep. It's just putting her in different places as she slowly fails upward.
Yep. I think Carlton gets hurt a lot in that show.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just becomes like a man child that he never.
Yeah.
And it's like as the show gets older, he becomes more and more like a 3-year old, and it's really like.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's not
Yeah.
Carlton.
He starts off as just like disconnected from the black experience
Yeah.
and doesn't realize that no, those same rules still apply to you, Carlton.
Yeah, but that the character is but like he's snobby, but he's not stupid.
Yeah. It's just he's naive.
Yeah.
And then that naivete slowly turns into just infantilism.
Oh god, because there's like one where he was like singing at like the Barney show or whatever, and he was like dancing. I'm like, Carlton, you're supposed to be like 23 at this point.
Yeah.
You're like in
Yeah.
college. This is not good.
No.
Also, there were some episodes where he got to take the occasional W in like the first season or two, and I'm like, that's actually very important.
Yep.
Dovetailing back to Malcolm, or some of those like no one in Malcolm always loses. Sometimes they win, and also sometimes they lose. Like Malcolm has like a 50-50 ratio of wins to losses.
Mm-hmm.
And as the show, like it's well written, is he usually wins whenever he is either not going for himself or defeating a greater evil. Then Malcolm will succeed.
It's when it's justifiable. He is not the bad guy. He is allowed to win. Maybe it's not a clean win, but he is allowed to win.
Some of his wins are very good.
He is allowed to beat the new Krellboyne teacher.
That is one of the best, where he drives all of them insane, where they're just like ripping off their clothes and dancing in the mud. And he's just like,
yeah.
That, I don't know what episode that is, but that was like an incredible one. It's also
I feel like that's season 2 because I think they get rid of the first Krellboyne teacher. I feel like she only has a season.
I thought she leaves at the end of like season 2 because that's like her pregnancy, and that's when she leaves. And then they replace him with that guy who becomes like the high school teacher.
I think they earn those things where like the Krellboyne circus in season 1.
Yes.
Where Malcolm realizes that his family and himself have ruined this occasion for her. And he sees the results of his actions. And so he has to do it. He has to show his family, no, y'all know I'm smart, but I don't think you understand actually what I am.
Yeah. And then,
but then the ending reveals, no, Malcolm, we do know what you are.
Yeah. I also like the show narrative that Dewey is just as talented as Malcolm, but as with like create like music.
Yeah.
And like creativity, he's like exactly as smart.
It's like, no, Dewey gets to be the rock star.
Yeah, Dewey gets to be famous. You gotta work in the slums to be president. That's it. Because you understand.
Oh, that show.
It's such
a banger.
It's incredible. It's all the way through. There's so many lines and so many bits. The ending of season 3 is the one with the helper monkey.
Also, what was the I guess it's the end of season 1 where Dewey goes on his cross-country road trip. I don't know, the epic of Dewey is like separated from the family, but they don't notice.
I don't remember that, but I know what you're talking about, where he just does an adventure.
Yeah, because it's like his babysitter dies while they're at the water park.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which is sad. That was a really sad bit.
Yeah. And or is that the no, is it separate where then he also chases a guinea pig and it's like orb
No,
and
that
then
that
Fox turned that into an event of Spot Dewey's guinea pig and the other shows on Fox.
no, that was the one because I'm looking through it. That's the one where Hal thinks he has cancer, and that's one of like the other subplots is that Dewey has to take care of like the pet class pet.
Okay.
Because that's like one of the I think that's also the one where like according to just the brief subscript where Francis has to fight the Kreblin girl, I believe, and she just whoops him as she has many times. I'd also say Malcolm, like every character, is great and developed.
Uh-huh. Yep. I think the lowest point, and just because it drags on too long as like character point, is when Stevie is depressed.
Yeah, although it gets that really great bit where Malcolm's like throwing the ball at him and saying, "What are you gonna do, cripple? Get stuck
Yeah.
here?" And he's like, "I
Oh,
really
is the
hope this
cripple
works."
gonna cry?
He's like, "I really hope he turns a pull around because this is not gonna go well." But yeah, one of the best and most perfect shows of all time.
Oh,
In always, there's just an incredible bits. I think it's timeless too. I think that show is timeless.
yeah. I need to. I don't want to because these kind of videos are the worst. But I need to watch like Gen Z watches Malcolm in the Middle and see what they think.
I think it would. I think it would because a lot of it is like the only thing I think that makes it not quote unquote modern day is like internet and computer, but I still also feel like I felt this way about the episodes of like Leave It to Beaver and Donna Reed, like these kind of shows where it's like the good ones are pretty timeless. There's not
Yeah.
like you wouldn't have to
It's
change much to make the episode just work.
yeah. It's the core nugget of it is not a problem. It's there's superficial details like the boys going to an arcade that doesn't hit.
Yeah. But you could,
But
it's that same kind of like Batman the animated series where it's like, is this in the 1930s or is it like modern day? It kind of works
and,
both.
and also I'll say I think you can tell it's being written by Gen X people because they're like the kids are getting to do stuff Gen X got to do that their actual age range would not have gotten to do.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Like the
100%.
level of latchkey kids that they are was gone by the time they would be growing up.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Oh, they would not just be able to like the free Roman.
Walk to school.
No. You only got to walk to school if you were in one of those neighborhoods that lived within like really close to the school.
Where you could see the school.
Yeah. If you can look at it, then you could walk to it.
Yeah.
Which I guess in some regards is good because I would have not have wanted to walk to school.
Yeah.
It would have made some things easier though. Like it's a catch-22 kind of situation. Or I think some of it I'd be like, yeah, I would like to walk to school because then you don't think about then you get to walk home. It's very
Yeah.
important.
Yep. Walking home is the now I get to get into things.
Yeah, it's also just hey, did something get canceled or whatever? I could just leave. But then again, I think that would be.
Skipping's way easier.
I would say that'd be way too like. The temptation would be super real, of like, I could just like walk out of view, hide in like a bush, and then walk home with my key that I provided, and just stay at home all day.
Oh, yep.
But no one's
Super
gonna
easy.
know. No one's ever gonna know.
The school's gonna call and say like, "Hey, so and so was here at the first period, but not in last
Oh,
period."
I'm not. I'm saying like not even going. I'm saying you
Oh,
skip the
yeah,
whole
even
day.
even then, schools call home and report that, but whatever.
Listen, you're not thinking that through. I'm not. I'm
The
saying this
only
is gonna
per-
go
the
bad.
only the only person home is gonna be me.
Yeah, I just go like, yo, this is his brother. I'm the brother. Yep. He's sick.
Or just delete the voicemail.
Yeah. There you go. You just play the tape and then delete it, and then you're done. The problem is, it's one of those like you'd have to be really, really devious slash the effort to like skip school would take so much to me prep that I wouldn't do it. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, okay, it has to be on a day where there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
Because like if I skip a test, I'm gonna have to take the test again. I don't want to do that. You wouldn't.
No, Kevin, you're thinking wrong. Because if you skip the test, then you get to take the test on a day and miss class because you're taking the test.
Oh, they always did test whenever we were doing it. Is you lose like recess and you had to do the test.
I think it depended on the class, but yeah.
Yeah, but I just didn't like that. Not a fan. Like in high school, you could do it. What you'd have to do is you have to be on one of those days where like everyone's giving presentations and just whatever. It's garbage. And then you do
Mm-hmm.
your presentation first, so then you're like done, and then you don't have to show up until those are gone.
You just leave.
You just leave. All right, did you see the Sonic the Hedgehog movie trailer?
I did. I did.
It's
I, Jim Carrey is still the weakest part of those
I was
movies.
gonna say like you can still tell that like oh this is a movie for children when Jim Carrey is just acting like goofus in there, and
Yeah.
you're like okay I understand why this is. It makes it more younger than I would like, but then again I'm like in my 30s and I guess this is targeted towards like 8-year-olds.
But it's not even that, cause it's a movie made for kids by executives.
Yeah.
Like this is what executives think kids need.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
8-year-old will still watch Gargoyles and be like, "This show rips." I'm sorry, tell me again, why is anime so much bigger than Western cartoons?
That's true.
Because 8-year-olds are like, "Oh man, this is sick as hell."
It's cool. It either has to you if you're gonna be goofy, then not goofy. You got to be like legit funny,
Mm-hmm.
which is very difficult to do.
Yep.
You gotta have a very specific. Making like a funny children's cartoon is very hard to do. It's very hard.
But so I have to say, why does Shadow look oddly more textured than the other ones?
Well, I think it's some of it is because you see him like coming out of like his like containment tube and he's
Cryo
wet.
tank?
Yeah, and he's like wet.
Yeah.
Like he's like bursting free and he looks wet, which makes him look weirdly like more detailed because he's like
Yeah.
glistening. But I
And I wish he had a Chaos Emerald. That's my only other complaint is he's doing Chaos Control and he doesn't have a Chaos Emerald.
yeah, I guess they're going more like he has like the internal black arm energy or whatever, like the bio lizard. I hope the
Also, they didn't show us any Bio Lizard, but
well,
I think it's gonna be in the movie.
yeah, that's like the final boss. That's where Sonic and Shadow team up to fight the bio lizard, just like the
The
video
fight
game.
prototype Shadow.
Yeah, like that's what's gonna happen. Like my Sonic the Hedgehog theory is this one's Sonic Adventure 2, and then the next movie will be Sonic CD, where it's Sonic, Amy, and Metal Sonic. I think that's where you get those three.
Oh man. Okay, that gives me hope. My dream that I've always wanted to see is Metal Sonic beat up Shadow.
I think that's why I think like that's what it makes more sense that it's coming like after Shadow, because I think
Yeah.
Metal Sonic to make him basically to make the current villain a threat, they have to beat up all the other ones. So like Knuckles
Yep.
beats up Sonic, Shadow beats up Knuckles, and then you have Metal Sonic that beats up them all.
Yep. Yep. You gotta put him over.
Also, I'm pushing it. He needs to be voiced by Jaleel White. Metal Sonic doesn't talk, but when he does, it's like that, and he's like, "I'm the
It's
real
Jaleel
Sonic."
White.
Yeah, I'm the real Sonic.
No, I need Sat AM Sonic
That's
Jaleel White.
yeah, that's what
No,
I mean.
I don't need the adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Wait, no. Wait, yeah, no, opposite.
No,
Flip
you're
that.
right.
I need serious Jaleel White Sonic voice.
Yeah, he's still, but it's still that voice. But
I
to me,
need
that's the
Steven
voice.
Urkel Jaleel, not Steve Urkel Jaleel.
Yeah,
No, it's not. It's Stefan.
Stefan.
Stefan. I need Stefan Urkel Jaleel, not.
What it should be is he should be like he talks like a serious Jaleel White, but when he gets mad, the Sonic Adventures of Sonic like comes out. Like he's trying to keep it down, and then
Mm-hmm.
like when he gets really mad and frustrated, he starts go slipping into it, and that's where you get it. But yeah, and then the next one. Weirdly enough, you put Sonic Adventure 1 as the quote unquote Adventures Endgame of the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. Because that's
Oh, chaos.
yeah, they all team up to fight Chaos. And then you get like the Echidna stuff. You get to have E10 Gamma
I
showing
don't know,
up.
Kevin. That sounds like you're asking for a lawsuit.
Oh really? Oh yeah, with the Avengers.
No, with what's his face? And his sick echidna OCs.
Oh, Ken Penders? No,
Yeah, that's right.
that's fine because listen, these echidnas, like he doesn't own the rights to Tikal and the Sonic Adventure echidnas. He owns the ones that are like Archie comic exclusive.
I don't know.
Oh, I know. I've looked a lot at it.
You find the right lawyer, and he's gonna come a knocking.
I think part of his deal was that like it's settled and done because they did a complete reset of like the comic universe to basically say he gets to keep all his stuff. He
To
also
wipe all of his crap out of it.
weirdly enough, he also keeps the rights of those characters in like the older books and stuff. So in his Ken Pender's Laura Sue Chronicles, there are reprints and pages of the Sonic the Hedgehog Archie comic because technically he has the rights to use those characters.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
It's just that the character's name is Laura Sue.
Oh, it's bad. It's like when you like I kind of on the one
Like, it's
hand,
one of those where I get it, you're a big corporation, so you want to keep literally everything that has your name on it because that's how you got to be a big corporation to start with. But also, maybe this was a blessing in disguise to, just get to clean house and someone else has to take all this crap.
it's also like while yes, I do agree that creators should control like the rights to their creations, and I think that's very important. But do we really need to have all this for like the skunk guy? like,
Yeah.
like the Sonic, but he's a squirrel or whatever. It's like this is not like high art characters here. It's not like Batman. People are not out here craving for it. It's really weird. I've been Street Fighter. I'm still playing.
Same. And because I just did a lot of playing before I even went into ranked, I
Yeah,
think it's way easier to do that because you don't have to slog through the garbage of like. So now I'm just in Diamond 3, I think.
yep. Well, that's how you. That's what happens. Is that like when people go into the ranked mode because they haven't played it or they've just been playing, and then you go in there, you just you get like your 10 win streak, and then you're in diamond.
I also think it's if you say like, "Oh, I'm very familiar with Street Fighter," like at the start instead of saying, "Oh, this is my first one. I have some experience," or "I'm very experienced." I think if you say "I'm very experienced," it just places you higher regardless of like how well you did.
It's basically
Like I think
saying,
you could lose
yeah,
all 10, but you're experienced, and I think it'll put you in plat as opposed to starting you at like bronze.
yeah. Which I guess they're saying, hey, you said it. If you're not good enough, you'll be going down. You will go down.
Mm-hmm.
You'll go down. You signed up for this.
Yeah.
I've been liking Luke. I've been playing a lot of Luke to try to get ready for Terry
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like Luke and Terry are going to be somewhat similar in terms of like target combos, a reliance on those. You got like your Shoto stuff. I'm enjoying it. I still need to work on stuff. Like I'm not. I'm still like having problems of doing supers reliably, and like
What are you playing on a PS4 pad or PS5
I'm
pad?
just playing on my controller, my Xbox controller.
Oh, you're on a 360.
Yeah,
So wait, are you playing with the D-pad or the joystick?
D-pad.
So I will say I think a D-pad on a PlayStation, I think it's just positioning makes it easier to use. Like it just feels more ergonomic and just like I don't know the lower slotting of it on the Xbox controller just feels a little, and it's the disc, right? It's not a D-pad, it's the disc.
I think it is on the one I have. It's not like the 360 disc, but it's not as it's like the Xbox. It's the one. It's the middle. I don't know what Xbox it is. It's not like the Xbox. Is it an Xbone? I think it is an Xbone controller.
Oh, it might be the Xbone controller.
They're all like the same. They're literally all like the same
Yeah.
controller. But like that's
Yeah,
the
I have to say, the 360 controller is so good that I understand why they're like, nah, we don't need to innovate this that much.
yeah. Basically, it's like the 360 and then the PlayStation controller are like effectively equal. I
Hmm.
think the 360 one is a bit better for console shooters just because of like how the
That stick placement.
yeah, but it still works
Yeah.
just fine. It's also like I've played so much on 360 pads and stuff where it's like yeah, it's fine. It's
That's one
not
of those where I don't know. I've just the opposite. I've just always played with the top control thing because that just felt thumb better. So even Marvel 3 crap, I was still nope. I played with the joystick.
wow. That's I mean if it works, it works.
That's the thing. It doesn't really. You just do it enough, and your brain will get it. That's why it's still that's why some stuff there's stuff easier to do on a joystick for me. Guilty Gears are easier on a joystick.
Oh, 100%. Oh,
Like
100%.
they just
Because it's
like
that
it's just
it's
you
that
have
moment.
to yeah, and you have to enunciate so much that half circle. You got to enunciate all those diagonals.
Yeah, you can't
The
skip a couple.
joystick, you just follow the circle.
Yeah, you just groove it. Get that groove on there. That 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 little line on your Nintendo 64 controller
Mm-hmm.
where you're like, "Yep, that's where I was like rubbing the hell out of this thing on the stick." I remember that. Yeah, I also so I've been doing that. World of Warcraft expansion's out. It's okay. I'm enjoying it. I like it as my. It's weird because like oh yeah, Deadlock is apparently released. People could talk about Deadlock, the Valve shooter MOBA.
Yeah, I remember the news stories of thousands of people are playing this secret game, but I don't actually know anything about that game.
It's basically like it's a Dota but also an Overwatch.
And then similarly, I've seen way more discourse about Black Myth Wukong than I've actually seen footage of Black Myth Wukong.
I have yet to watch anyone actually play that game.
Like I like the idea and it seems to have a sick aesthetic, but I've not seen any footage of it.
I kind of don't care.
Yeah, I don't either. It's a Souls like.
Apparently, it's more like a Devil May Cry or like a Sekiro than like
Oh.
a Dark Souls, or it's more like
I think
it's more
yeah,
linear.
it's a it's a yeah, it's yeah.
You're
I
not
was gonna say Bayonetta, but it's the thing that doesn't add any
no
discourse
yeah
to the
yeah.
conversation.
It kind of
It's
does. I mean, it's like yo, you're
it's
on.
a action. what are those called? An action combo,
Character
uh,
actions.
character action
Character
game.
action game. But you're a monkey man doing monkey stuff. Which is like,
You're a Goku.
yeah, you're old Wukong, Son Goku.
Yep.
Which is like it's like eh. It's not gonna be on my. Oh, there was weird Capcom news where Capcom's just throwing everything on collections now.
Yep. Capcom
Like,
Fighting Collection 2.
yeah.
Got
Of
CVS, Street Fighter Zero 3
and Power
Uppercut.
Stones.
Oh,
I don't know.
and then,
It doesn't matter. It has two Power Stones
yep.
and everything else is gravy.
Power
Yes.
Stone's a fascinating game where I thought that was a four-player game, but it's not.
No, the
Power
set
Stone 2
two
is.
is.
Power Stone 1 is. Nope.
Oh,
It's
I
one
get, I
v one.
get, I get them like mixed up in my brain. I think
Yeah.
of Power Stone 2 when I think of Power Stone. But still, having like both Power Stones, like CVS 2 and Alpha 3, is like, yo, that's a good deal.
But it's not just Alpha 3, it's like Alpha 3 EX.
Yeah, that one.
It's like a Japanese only version of Alpha 3 or something.
Yo, that's fine though. Alpha 3 is pretty cool. I'm okay with Alpha 3. I don't like it as much as
Um
regular Street Fighter 3.
I was gonna say I think the Alpha games are weird because you're either an Alpha 3 or an Alpha 2.
Yeah. My kind of issue is that like I either like Street Fighter like 3 or I like the X-Men Street Fighter that turns into Marvel. And I feel like the Alpha games are kind of in between.
I think Alpha 3 is closer to it than.
Yeah. Like Alpha 3 felt more like a not quite like a Marvel, but like the X-Men Street Fighter kind of deal. Am I remembering this right or am I just like talking BS?
So I think in defense of what you're saying is that image comparing sprites for uh Ryu sprites to Morgan sprites
Yeah.
and the Marvel versus Capcom 1 and 2 sprites. Ryu is definitely like the alpha Ryu, and as opposed to it's still just Morrigan.
Yeah.
But I think that speaks to what those games kind of are, since that's the sprite getting used in those games.
Yeah, it's just it's like I don't know. I like them.
It's a little more high octane.
Yeah, it's like it has a bit of it's more I wouldn't say flavor because Street Fighter 3 has a different flavor. And Marvel
Hmm.
Superheroes has like the X-Men in there. Or you're doing optic blast, kinetic card, all the good stuff. I am also enjoying like the failure of Concord.
Yeah.
I'm very it's nice to watch that. Yeah, I always think
Um.
it's weird how Ryu has red hair some of the time.
Uh-huh. Yep.
I think it's
He's
weird.
definitely he's got it's not a dark brown. It's
No,
it's
that's like
it's
a
a
red.
lighter, that copper.
Yeah. But yeah, poor old Concord.
I eh, I know nothing about this game other than they tried to make a competitive team shooter in a
Bas-
landscape that seems very tired of competitive team shooters.
what it looks like is that it started development when Overwatch 1 started and through troubles it came out now, which is like
Oh my God, seriously?
yeah, because they said it was developed 8 years ago, and 8 years ago was 2016 when Overwatch started. So basically, Overwatch was like they saw Overwatch like we're gonna make an Overwatch, and then like the disaster happened over 8 years, and like all right, we're finally done, and everyone's like we don't like Overwatch anymore. And now you have your
I at that point they should have pulled an Overwatch and they said, we have all these assets. What other game could we make instead of this one?
I think I would have rather if they just made like your standard God of War third person, maybe first person story shooter.
I think
I
full
wouldn't have hated
circle.
it. Yeah.
They should have. Overwatch was going to be a WoW, wasn't it? It was going to be like an
Yes.
online RPG. I
Yeah.
think they should have turned Concord into an online RPG.
So the Destiny people that left to make Destiny turn out they just made Destiny.
Yeah, I think that would have been very funny.
It would have
Uh,
been it would have had a better chance. Also, I think that roster really suffers that none of those characters look cool.
yep, that's always an issue. But
It's
I'm
it's
always surprised at how many people in this world want generic military man as their persona.
because I was thinking because like you see like people online they're like oh it's the DEI and my example my counterpoint to me that is like Street Fighter 6 is very diverse in terms of body
Uh
types and everything and all those people
huh.
are cool like everyone.
Except Luke.
But Luke sucks, and that kind of rules. Like, there's a point to it. But even still, like, I think there's stuff he does that's cool. His level 3 when he takes you to Memphis is fun. I like it. Big
I
fan.
like his level 2 more than his level 3.
It's beast mode, baby, and he just hits you and he slams you on the ground.
Just and it's the same arm. That's what
Yeah.
does it. Well, that's what makes that super so good. It's just no, it's just the right, the right, the right, the
Because you get
right.
to go, and it's. See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like no one in Concord has that feeling. And we're talking about Luke, who is the bottom barrel of
The
Street Fighter
weakest.
6. And he was
Uh
and I think he's strong. I think Luke is like a B minus overall in terms of greater video game characters.
I think Luke is a C, and his voice actors outside social media work has elevated Luke to a B minus.
Okay, but we could give him the honest grade. I would say C plus if we want to say honest.
Yeah.
Because I think I like what Luke is attempting to do. I don't think it quite does it with like the piston kind of punches. I think it's a little weird, but it doesn't quite work. But
Yeah, like the build up.
but then again, that you say that, and then everyone else is just incredible. Everyone else is incredible.
Except Blanca.
I
Blanca's actually the weakest.
I think Blanca makes sense as your weirdo Monster Mash character that every game kind of
I
needs.
just I just I just hate his I hate his gimmick. I hate his playstyle. I hate everything about. I think Honda is a much better delivery on that same idea.
But he has the Blanca chance, and he throws them.
That's the most interesting thing they've done with Blanca since they made him.
Yep. It was too interesting and good, that's why I don't play him.
It's and they gave him an up back charge attack.
I don't like. God, I can't.
I
That
thought what I thought what made you stop playing him is they electric wasn't his wake up anymore. They made it up ball.
what made me stop playing him is just kind of like I didn't like how he felt when he was going into like his weird stance down up like I just didn't like it. There's like I play characters purely based on how they feel. I am like the
I
exact
thought you
opposite.
played all. I thought you played characters on how immediately successful you are with
That's
them.
part of the feel. I'm counting that as like that is an actor to feel as a feel.
I'm more of a carrot than a stick player, if you know what I mean.
I want that carrot right now, and if it works, then they're
Yeah.
great. And that's why I played Honda, and then they took away all of Honda's fraudulence and tried to make him more of an honest character, and I couldn't do it anymore. I'm like, no, thank you.
I'm like curious to actually play Honda as an M groove character, as Ultra David would say. Like David really supports modern Honda as a concept. And like part of that is modern Honda has a reversal that you can mash out, and classic control Honda does not.
There's
Like
some
classic Honda has to hold a lot more pressure or know when to try. And modern Honda, you can literally just hold the charge back and then just mash special until armored headbutt comes out.
yep. Oh yeah, that's 100%. There's a lot
Yeah,
of there's a
like you
lot
don't
of
get that with classic.
there's a lot of things on modern Honda that you get a lot of like quick get out of jail free cards. Like having even just instant Orochi grab is very nice. Like one
Yeah.
button Orochi grab is like
Uh-huh.
makes
Yeah.
makes that like
That's what
half
makes
second.
modern Geef so good.
Yeah, it's that half second like, oh, I have a command throw I can just do.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there's no having to buffer emotion. It's just, do I want to command throw someone? Oh, I think I do.
There's also auto combo into super, which does not scale or doesn't scale like that much.
Yeah. It's still 10% less, but it's still super damage, so
It's one of
it's still
those.
a
It
lot.
was one of those where like once you hit them to like you knew about the life percentage, you just had like and now you're dead. That cost zero
That's
mental. It's like if I get this
uh-huh.
one, I get this crouching heavy, you just lose.
Yeah.
I just mash heavy and it's over, and that's very powerful. But I gotta go.
All right.
Later days. Bye.
Later days.
Watch Malcolm in the Middle.
Yep. Play Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, that's a good one. Bye.